Today's sponsor is Vibration. Vibration provides designer hydration packs designed to make you look cool, keep your stuff safe, and stay hydrated at music festivals and events. Their holographic designs add to your festival ensemble. Make sure you get your pack using promo code BB Media Industries LLC to save 10% on your new pack on Vibration.com. Oh, and one more thing. Free shipping on orders over $75. Hashtag Life's a Party. Stay hydrated. Hello and welcome to another rousing edition of Trending Topics with BB. I am your humble host, Brooke Brown, hence the BB. Well, thank you so much to all that are finding this podcast very slowly but surely. I appreciate you finding the podcast despite the inconsistency of episodes. With a day job and chaotic life, I haven't been able to focus as much on this podcast as I would hoped, but hopefully that will change in the near future. I have ideas of people I want to invite on the podcast if I haven't already invited them, but I, again, thank you to all the listeners. And speaking of you listeners, if you didn't already know, Trending Topics with BB is just one of the projects underneath the BB Media Industries LLC company umbrella, if you will. And if that's the case, log on to bbmediaindustries.com for more information. If you have not already followed the social media pages and handles of all, specifically this podcast can be found on Twitter at TTWithBB as well as Instagram at TTWithBB. You can find this podcast on Facebook under the page Trending Topics with BB. And if you are listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, please leave a 5-star rating and a comment. It helps this podcast be found by other listeners, such as yourself, and I would really appreciate it. Now that most of that housekeeping crap is out of the way, I wanted to do a special episode as opposed to just writing a blog on the other forms under Love of Music Project, which is the music blog under BB Media Industries, or any other platform that I write for that you may follow if you follow me, the person, in my personal pages. But I wanted to recap the amazing event that was Dreamstate San Francisco. I had heard, well, last year was the first year, so this is the second annual, I guess, of the Dreamstate San Francisco event, and I took my boyfriend with me who, side story, we met through a mutual love of trance here in our humble abode of the greater Phoenix, Arizona area. But that's a whole nother podcast. And if you haven't had a chance to check out previous episodes, he was actually featured in one of the previous episodes talking about natural health. So if you go back to one of those episodes, he's very intelligent, so check that out. But in terms of that, I just kind of want to go over the entire event and just recap how wonderful the event really was for a trans family from all over the world to convene for a couple days at the Bill Civic Auditorium in downtown San Francisco. It was pretty much one of the best events that I've ever attended in my life, and here's why. The trans family is a unique family. And don't get me wrong, I've been a music connoisseur pretty much my whole life, and if you know a little inkling about me, I used to follow a pop group quite heavily and be in that fandom, but I left that fandom about 4 years ago due to the fact that was a negative fandom in many ways. Too much drama with the band, with a lot of the actual other fans that like to stab you in the back. They're just competitive people. Not everybody is good peeps. And I wanted to get rid of that negativity in my life. Plus, I have loved trance since the early 90s. Since I was a wee kid, because back then it wasn't called trance, it was called electronic dance music. There was really none of these subgenres that we have today of whether you are electronica, techno, drum and bass, trance, the list goes on, really. But I wanted to speak about how the trans family really does feel like a family, regardless of where you come from, who who you know. It seems to be like a big family reunion at all these events, from EDC to Dreamstate, San Francisco. There's a Southern California version, to just any other events that are going on throughout the country, throughout the world, that features trance music and the pioneers of the scene, as well as a lot of the new and upcoming artists through different labels, so on and so forth. But despite who you were most excited to see in the lineup, regardless if that was Binary Finary, Asterisk, Marcus Schultz presents Dakota, Paul Oakenfold presents and takes us through Generations, Paul Van Dyke, Ben Nicky, Vinny Vici, so on and so forth. I mean, I can name the whole lineup, but the point I'm trying to make, Ferry Corsten with his new brilliant album Blueprint, John O'Callaghan, again, I can name the whole lineup. But the point I'm trying to make is the vibes were positive the entire time. I thought the definition of what it means to be plur was really exhibited throughout the entire weekend. People were looking out for each other. People were enjoying meeting each other. People were just there to enjoy the music and enjoy the overall good time. And with all the negativity that's going on in the world right now, all of everybody's opinions towards political leaders, political decisions, all of the negativity that really is just seems to be bringing everybody in the world and making people lose their damn minds. And I'm saying that legit because I have a day job that pretty much explains that. But nonetheless, it was just nice to get away for a couple of days and enjoy music that other people enjoy, that you have to experience to understand the depth of what trance brings out in people. From emotional to melodic to the sigh movement to vocal, I think I said that. But regardless of your favorite sets, your favorite artists, who you attended with, who you met up with, it was great to be in a place where the vibes were just overall positive. There was no bullshit. The venue was fan-fucking-tastic. The staff through Dreamstate and Insomniac, shout out to you, the staff, for being friendly, welcoming, and accommodating. Shout out to basically the production team, because the production, from the lasers to the pyro to the dancers, the aerialists, to anybody that helped put on that event, I want to thank you, because it was amazing. And as evident from the videos, the pictures, anything that you saw on social media or people were posting online, take a look. And it just brings to the fact that I'm so glad that we also decided to go to EDC coming up in a couple weeks, and that they have expanded the Dreamstate brand for trance fans to all 3 nights. Because regardless if you think they're scheduling the same artist over and over, it's still great that we're featuring this type of music. And to all of you haters out there that just don't understand or just now getting into trance, well, welcome to the great side. But in all seriousness, trance never left. It never died. It just, for some people, you abandoned it when you shouldn't have. But in the long run, everybody knows that trance music can bring people together of all over the world. You're seeing that in many events. And I want to thank Pascal Rotella and the Insomniac brand for bringing Dreamstate to our attention. And I want to thank you, trans family out there, for having such great vibes and everything that I just mentioned. And that is BB out for this, the Dreamstate San Francisco 2017 recap. Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/trendingtopicswithbb.